Good morning, students. Today we will study about light. Light as a factor is not an important to all the plant ecologists as it is to a plant physiologist. It is one of the most important climatic factor for vital process of the plant. Light is indispensable for the synthesis of the most important pigment of the plant, the green chlorophyll. Only the chlorophyll is capable of absorbing radiant energy and convert it into a potential chemical energy of carbohydrate. The carbohydrate manufactured by the plant during photosynthesis is the only link between the solar energy and the living world. The third effect of light on the plant is on the regulation of the rate of transpiration and controlling of the closing and opening of stomata. The visible light range between the wavelength of 400 to 750 micrometer. 50% of the total energy of the solar radiation lies within the narrow range. According to Rudolf Giger, about 42% of the incoming solar radiation is reflected back by the atmosphere, 33% from the cloud, and 9% from dust. Another 10% of the radiation is absorbed by the ozone layer or is diffusely scattered by the particle in the air. Infrared and the longer wavelength are absorbed and shorter and ultraviolet wavelengths are scattered. 48% of the radiation reaches the earth. A portion of this is reflected back. The earth also receives a portion of infrared light radiation from the atmosphere where it was absorbed earlier. Thus, the soil, air, and water on the earth's surface are heated by both the solar radiation and the indirect infrared radiation. The effect of light is uniform over wide and therefore it is not likely to affect the general feature of plant community. The vast majority of plants growing in a direct sunlight are termed as the heliophyte. That means that they are the sun-loving plants. While the plants that are grown in a deeply shaded area are called the schizophytes, shade loving. The schizophytes are very much affected by light. Some heliophytes which are capable of growing even under shade condition are called facultative schizophytes, and those which cannot do so are called obligate heliophytes. Schizophytes which grow in sunlight are called facultative heliophytes, and those which cannot do so are called obligate schizophytes. In dry climate, the vegetation is facultative or obligate heliophytes, whereas in the moist climate, vegetation consists of a series of superimposed layer of tall trees, low trees, shrub, herbs, mosses, etc., and a high percentage of the flora are facultative or obligate schizophytes. The sun-loving and the shade-loving plant assume different morphology and anatomical features. Heliophytes, their morphological features, growth of the shoot is reduced and internode remains short. Growth of the shoot is normal and internode are elongated in schizophytes. In heliophytes, thick stems with well-developed mechanical and conducting tissue, while in schizophytes, thinner stem with weakly developed mechanical and conducting tissue. In heliophytes, very well branched system is present, while in schizophytes, branch system is very less. In heliophytes, roots are numerous, longer and branch, while in schizophytes, roots are very less in number. In heliophytes, leaves are narrow, linear, thicker and of hard texture, while in schizophytes, leaves are thin, large, broad and are longer. While in schizophytes, leaves often directed sharply or vertically upward. In schizophytes, leaves are horizontally placed. In heliophytes, leaves may be folded, while in schizophyte, leaves are usually flat and smooth. In heliophyte, leaves are usually isobilateral. In schizophyte, leaves are always dorsiventral. In heliophytes, leaves are glossy and good reflector of light, while in schizophyte, leaves are often velvety, beset with refractive papillae reserved to collect the obliquely incident rays of light. In heliophytes, leaves cover with hair. In schizophyte, leaves less hairy and glabrous. In heliophytes, thick cuticle is present, while thin cuticle in schizophyte. Epidermis is thick in heliophytes, while it is thin in schizophytes. Upper epidermis lack chlorophyll in heliophytes, while upper epidermis may contain chlorophyll in schizophyte. Lateral walls of the epidermal cell wavy, while the lateral walls of epidermal cell are spinous in schizophyte. Stomata smaller and closer and usually on the lower surface in heliophytes, while stomatas are larger, present on both the surface in schizophyte. Mesophyll cells smaller in heliophytes, while they are larger in schizophytes. Well-developed palisade parenchyma may be on both the surface in heliophytes. Palisade parenchyma poorly developed in schizophyte. Spongy tissue weakly developed in heliophyte was spongy tissue well developed in schizophyte. Small intercellular spaces are present in heliophytes while large intercellular spaces are present in schizophytes. Chloroplasts fewer and smaller in heliophytes while chloroplasts numerous and larger in schizophyte. Physiological feature: photosynthetic rate lower per unit area in heliophyte, photosynthetic rate higher per unit area in schizophyte. Respirative rate is higher in heliophyte while respiration rate is lower in schizophyte. Transpiration rate is higher in heliophyte while it is lower in schizophyte. Flowering earlier in heliophytes, flowering delayed in schizophyte. Osmotic pressure higher due to high salt and sugar concentration in heliophyte, osmotic pressure lower in schizophyte. The effect of light on plant can be studied under three heads: the light intensity, light quality, that means the wavelengths, and the light duration, the photoperiod. Thank you.